Hello friends, I welcome you all to StudyIQ. My name is Dr. Mahipal Singh Rathod, and in this video I will be discussing the political spectrum, the various left-wing, right-wing and centrist parties. What do these ideologies mean? Why do we call a party a left-wing party or a right-wing party, or a politician as a leftist or a rightist politician? I will describe what are the basic differences, what are the basic policies that are part of these leftist and rightist parties. So let me begin by telling you what exactly is this political spectrum. This is simply a classification of the political ideologies. So we draw an imaginary line, then there is the center of this line, and any party that is on the right side of the center point from here till here, they are called right wing, and all the parties or the people who have ideology that range from this center point to this extreme left are called left wing. So this is left wing and this is right wing. I will explain what are these in detail. So just have a look at this. So if some party has a centrist or a moderate approach, then it will be called center. Then if the party is little bit right of center, so it is called right center or center right, whatever you like. Then if there is extreme right, it goes further in this direction, then we call it far right. And on the end of the spectrum here we have fascism, that was followed by Hitler and Mussolini during World War II and before that in Germany and Italy. So that is fascism, that is extreme right, far right, more right than far right. Then here we have center left or left center. So any party that is leaning little bit left from the center position, that is called left center. Then there is far left. And finally here there is the communism, the ideal form of communism. But you must remember that there is no ideal communist state in the world as of now which follows communism to the letter, and you should watch my earlier video on communism, socialism, fascism if you want to know more about that. But here on one end we have communism and on the other hand we have fascism. So these are the two extreme ideologies. In between there are far left, left center, center, right center, far right and fascism. So this is the spectrum. This is the brief classification that we do of the various political ideologies. But this is a very basic division, basic classification. Many political scientists have developed their own classifications. You would find a lot of variety in this. This is for only basic understanding. So this is another one. And here it is more or less similar to the one I just made. But here you can see there is moderate. Then here this is liberalism. So this is depending on country to country, what kind of policies are followed there. So left center policies are often called as liberalism policies or liberal policies, socialism, and finally here communism. Then here we have conservatism and libertarianism, and finally fascism. So I will discuss all of these. This is another method of classifying. See, this is the x-axis. You can say this is the y-axis. So this x-axis denotes the economic classification. Based on the economic policies we can call a party left or right, while on the other hand based on the social policies we can call them authoritarian or libertarian. What does it mean? See, if any political party is believing in right-wing economic policies, then it will be called right wing. But on the other hand it says that the entire state society should be controlled, all the social interactions of people should be according to the government, then that is authoritarian, as Stalin did in USSR. So that could be authoritarian. But he was not right wing in economic, okay, he was left, extreme left. So you can place Stalin somewhere here, authoritarian left, and authoritarian left. Then there is authoritarian right. So there could be authoritarian right as well. You can say that Hitler was extreme right, fascism. So he could be called authoritarian right. But then again his economic policies were a bit different. So as I told, there are some problems in all the classification. Then we have libertarian. What do you mean by libertarian? It means people are given full freedom. So in most of the modern economies, modern democracies, we have this libertarian type of government to some extent, where people have their liberties, they have their own liberal rights, the right to freedom, right to speech, all these liberal rights are given to them by the constitution. So here, if the economic policies are right wing, then it can be called libertarian right. On the other hand, if the policies are libertarian but the economic system is left, so it can be called libertarian left. Now, where did these terms come from, left wing, right wing? They originated in the French Revolution in 1789, when the French emperor called for the Estate General. Estate General was nothing but an assembly. It was a meeting of all the people of the country. So in that meeting, there were people who were pro-change, who wanted revolution. They were the common people. They sat on the left side. And those who were pro-monarchy, basically the first estate people, the nobility, the rich people, they did not want any change in the status. They wanted status quo because they were doing very well, they were doing very good. Why would they want any change? So the clergy means the Christian priests of the Roman Catholic Church. So the church was also very powerful, the priests were very powerful, and nobility, they both were enjoying. So they were pro monarchy, they were pro king, so they sat on the right side. So from that time onwards, after that, it was commonly called as left and right wing. So anyone who was pro change or pro revolution was called left wing, and anyone who was pro monarchy, they did not want any change in the setup that was going on. It means they wanted status quo, they wanted things to go on as they are. They were called right wing. So this is the origin of these terms. So you can see here, this is the painting of that meeting, Estate General. So whoever is sitting on the right, they are pro-monarchist and they were conservatives. Conservative means they want to conserve the old values, the old systems. They want to conserve them, preserve them. That is why they are called conservatives. And here were the revolutionaries, the republicans, who wanted the head of state to be an elected person and not a king. That is why they were called republicans. The basic point of difference between the left and the right wing is that the amount of individual liberty, the individual freedom that they allow to a citizen of the state, and the power of the government. How much interference will the government have in the economy, in the day-to-day life of the people, in the society? Now, who are the left? That commonly we call, that party is left. So who are called the left wing? Which people? So any party that calls itself liberal or socialist or democrat or communist, they are all part of left wing. So there might be a party which believes in liberal ideals, freedom of speech, freedom of movement, all these modern human rights, the concepts that have developed in the past 100, 200 years, all these modern philosophies, they follow. So they are called liberals. Okay, they are part of left. Then socialists, who want social justice, equality for all. Then Democrats, who believe in democracy, rule of the people. And finally, communists. It is a very general classification. Don't take it literally, because some right-wing party can also be democratic. Okay, it is not necessary that right-wing parties cannot be democratic. No, they can also be democratic, but they will have some other differences. So left-wingers are mostly pro-change. They want change in the ancient systems or the old societal norms or the old structure of government that is going on. So you must have seen in French Revolution, you see that old system was going on. King used to do whatever he wanted. He could tax the people. So they wanted a change in that. So they were pro-change, and that has continued till today. Whichever left-wing people are there, they want change in the older systems, and they are liberal. So these are the two basic qualities of the left wing, pro-change and liberal. Now, what are the policies of the left wing parties? First thing, equality in society. They will always demand that everyone should be equal in the society. The earlier king should be equal to the poorest farmer in the country. They should have the same rights and same duties. No special treatment should be given to the king. Second, separation of religion and state. The church or any religion which is there in the country, dominant in the country, it should not interfere with the government. The government should not ask for the religious authorities to interfere in the work of the government. The government should be totally separate from religion. And this was also championed after the French Revolution, because in France, church was very powerful, and after the French Revolution, the power of church over the state was gone. So the modern concept of separation of religion and state comes from there. Then central planning. The economy should be planned. Why? Because see, some year, let's say in a year, there is more money required for infrastructure in any country. More roads, railways need to be built. But let's say after few years, there is drought for continuously 2-3 years. Then instead of infrastructure, that money should be spent on drought relief projects. So that is why the central economy should be planned. You should know where industries, which infrastructure have to be promoted in. So India has had 5-year plan cycles. You must know about them. What were the 5-year plans? So this is the central planning. That is a key element of the left parties. Then there is government intervention in economy. This concept was given by John Maynard Keynes. He was a famous 20th century economist, and he gave this concept that there should not be completely free economy. It should not be free market. It means completely free. The government should not do anything. Why? Because if the market is completely free, then there will be things like the Great Depression of 1929, as in United States. There was a depression. The economy fell very badly in a single day. Many people lost they attempted suicide because of losing so much of money in the share markets. The markets just crashed one day. And to avoid situations like that, John Maynard Keynes told all the capitalist countries, he suggested this, that you should have some amount of intervention in the economy. When the economy is doing good, the economy is booming, it is going very good, then the tax rate should also go up, so that this extra money that you are collecting, this can be used when the economy is on the downturn, when the economy is in recession. You can use this money to lower the taxes or for other projects. This government intervention in economy is very necessary according to him. The market should not be completely free. Then welfare state. You must know the meaning of welfare state. The governments should work for the betterment of people, for the welfare of the people, and not for profit purposes. Okay. Then finally, protectionism. What is protectionism? It means that, let's say in India, some company A is manufacturing a good, and let's say it is manufacturing a towel. Now these towels are being manufactured by company A and they are sold for 100 rupees. But a company B, which is based in USA, is manufacturing it in USA and they are exporting it to India. And here, after export, after transport also, the cost here is just 60 rupees. So which towel will people buy? Obviously they will buy the one by American company, but it is very harmful for local companies. That is Indian company. So the government, it should do, what should it do? It should have protectionist policies. They should tax 40 rupees on each towel, so that this towel also costs 100 rupees from America. So now which will you buy, Indian one or American one? Now you will buy whichever is better in quality. So again, you should tax it more. You should make the price 120. Now everyone in India will buy this 100 rupees only, because we are a very price sensitive market. So this is called protectionism. Now this is against free trade. If you look at it, it is against free trade, but it is required for the betterment of the people, for the betterment of the companies of your own country. Then we come to the social policies of the left-wing parties. So they will mostly have progressive views. It means they have modern views on matters like same-sex marriages, homosexuality, abortion, immigration. They will be allowing people to come into their countries. But see, this is not 100% true all the time. It does not mean that right-wing parties are against immigration. To give you an example, in Germany, the current political party in power is the Christian Democratic Union of Angela Merkel. Okay, and CDU along with other coalition partners. But they have allowed immigration. You must have seen in the news, lot of Syrian immigrants coming from Syria to Germany. They have welcomed them despite being a right-wing government. The right-wing parties in UK, that is the Conservative Party, which is in power right now. Earlier, the Prime Minister was David Cameron and now it is Theresa May. So they are against immigration. They do not want many Syrian refugees coming into UK. So that is one of the reasons that in Brexit, that was one of the main issues, immigration. Then death penalty. Usually the left-wing parties are against death penalty. So it is alleged by the right-wing parties that you are going soft on crime. Now we see a few examples of the left parties in the world. So in India, Congress is the best example of center-left. So if I make that spectrum again, this is the spectrum, this is the center point. So Congress will be somewhere here, just left of center. You can see all the policies that we discussed. Congress checks all of them. Central planning introduced by Congress. Intervention, government intervention in the economy. So we have state intervention in the economy to a huge extent earlier, but now it is less. Then we are a welfare state, and earlier we had a protectionist policy up until 1991. So all these policies were followed by Congress, and they were the ones who brought in all these policies. Then we have Aam Aadmi Party, although they say that we are neither left nor right, but looking at the work that they have done in Delhi for the past 2 years and the policies they have started, it can be said that they are also left. So they are somewhere a little bit more left to the Congress. So this is Congress, this is Aam Aadmi Party, and then in the far left we have Communist Parties of India. that is CPI, Communist Party of India, then Communist Party of India, Marxist, they are far left because they are communist parties. See, as far as you move on the spectrum towards the left, so these far left parties, that is the communist parties all over the world, they believe in these policies extremely. So they are all for equality, they are all for separation of religion and state. In fact, most of the communist countries were officially atheist for long periods of time. They believe in central planning, they believe in government intervention, total government intervention in economy. Then they believe in welfare state, protectionism. So you see that these ideas become more and more extreme. But as you come towards center, there might be some relaxation in some of these policies for other parties. Then in USA, we have the Democratic Party. Hillary Clinton was a leader of that party, and that is also called as the left wing there. In UK, we have the opposition Labour Party right now. The leader is Jeremy Corbyn. Now we come to the right wing. So who are the right wing people? Who are these people who call themselves right wing or right wing parties or right wing politicians? They are usually conservatives, nationalists, or Republicans. So these are the basic ideologies that call themselves the right wing ideologies or right wing parties. The basic premise of right wing is social conservatism and economic liberalism. So in the matters of economy, they are liberal. They will prefer free market trade, laissez-faire. But in the social matters, social policies, they will be conservative. They will be against abortion. They will be against same-sex marriages. They will be for death penalty. So they will be social conservatives. So this is the basic thing. It is not necessary that they are, but this is a very general idea that I am giving you. Socially conservative and economically, they have liberal policies. Let's go a little bit deeper. First thing, right wing will say that there should be very limited role of the government in people's life and economy. Government should not regulate the industry, all the industries. They should not dictate how people should live, where their children should study. All this is the decision of people, and state should not interfere. Most of the right-wing parties in the world have a very high nationalism policy. They believe in nationalism. They believe in the cultural traditions of the country. They are conservative in religious matters. They want to preserve the culture and the traditions of the country that have been going on since many generations or a long time. They want to preserve the status quo of religion and tradition. Okay, so nationalism coupled with tradition and religious conservatism. But also they believe in the personal freedom of people. So to give you an example of this, see, in USA, people are completely free to protect themselves. So accordingly, they have the right to carry guns, to carry firearms. So in USA, the laws to own a gun are very liberal. They are not very strict. Anyone can go and buy a gun. So there is a lot of gun violence in USA. Now what the right wing in USA says, that people are free to choose. They are free to protect themselves. But on the other hand, the left wing, the liberals, they say, the social liberals, they say that people should not be allowed to carry guns. Why? Because it is against majority of the other people who are not carrying guns. They should not feel scared. They should not feel scared that someone will come and shoot us one day in our school, in our theater, as it happens in the USA a lot of times. So this is the main debate between right and left wing with relation to gun rights. So this can be a debate over the freedom of people. Then they also believe in equality for all. But here their equality is a little bit different. Left wing will say that everyone is equal, but there can be special protections given to minorities or other minor linguistic groups. But here the right wing will say that no special protection to any minority. Everyone should be treated equal. So for example, in India, you will see that the right wing often says that uniform civil code should be brought in. The Bharatiya Janata Party, which is a right-wing party in India, it will ask for uniform civil code whenever it is in power, because they say that everyone should have equal rights, no special protection, no special or different laws for anyone in the country. Everyone should be treated equally in criminal as well as civil matters. But the right wing will also support religion because they are supporting traditional values, conservatism. So they say that yes, religion is present. It should not be completely separate from the state, but it should be given some support, and religion should be supported by the state. So that is the difference. Now we come to the economic policies of the right wing. So right wing parties will want less regulation of the economy. They want more private sector, more free hand to the private sector so that growth and development is faster. For that, they will want low taxes. Recently, Donald Trump lowered the US corporate tax rate from over 35% to 15%. Also in India, Arun Jaitley, the finance minister, had lowered the corporate tax rate from 30% to 25% in the previous budget, and this was for companies which have annual revenue less than 50 crores. So you can see the right-wing parties usually are for bringing down tax rates. Then these parties are also tough on crime. They want death penalty. They say that death penalty is necessary to prevent crimes and to bring law and order to effective law and order control. Then these are also tough on immigration. Again, best example, Donald Trump. He brought his famous travel ban, and other countries like UK are also facing a problem of immigration. They do not want many immigrants coming into UK. But as I told you earlier, there can be exceptions also. CDU in Germany, Christian Democratic Union of Angela Merkel, it is in favor of immigration into Germany. So these are the basic points of a right-wing party or right-wing politics. Now I will give you the examples of right-wing parties. In India, the best example is BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party. Now again, I'll make that spectrum. So this is the spectrum, this is the center point, this is extreme right. So here was fascism by Hitler and Mussolini. But here, just right of center is BJP. Then if you move further right, far right, we have parties like Shiv Sena, MNS that are more extreme in the conservative values, in the preservation of the traditional values. They are a bit more extreme than the center right parties. So that is why they are called far right, Shiv Sena, MNS. Also you can consider RSS, although it is not a political party, but still you can say that RSS is a far right group. In USA, the example of right wing is Republican Party. Leader is Donald Trump, who is in power right now. In UK, the Conservative Party, which is in power, leader is Theresa May. In Germany, Christian Democratic Union in a coalition, the leader is Angela Merkel. That is also a right-wing party. In UK, the UK Independence Party, it is far right. It is not right, it is far right. And the leader was Nigel Farage. He was the leader during the Brexit campaign. He wanted UK to exit from European Union. And currently in many countries of Europe, these far right parties are gaining power. They are gaining few seats in the parliament, in the national parliaments, the European Parliament, and extreme far right parties are on a rise right now. So this is a very peculiar trend in European politics, which has been dominated by center left parties for a long time in the past decades. Then in France, we have the National Front, or the Front National as it is called in French. I think I got the pronunciation correct. So it is also a far right party. The leader is Marine Le Pen. She has reached the final round of the presidential elections, and maybe she will become the next president of France. We will come to know in a few days. So she is also far right leader. Then we have the center. As the name suggests, it is a center approach. These parties usually take the middle ground, neither left nor right. They take the center approach. They bring compromise between left and right wing views, and they are generally moderates. Their politics is often issue based. So for, let's say there are two different issues. Let's say there is one issue of abortion, and then there is this issue of free trade. So it might be possible that on abortion, their view are equivalent to left wing. That is, they are in favor of abortion, that abortion should be legal. So in that manner, they are leftist. But they might agree for free trade policies. They are against protectionism. Here they have right wing views, but this is the same party. So this happens a lot of time. So these parties are issue based. Depending on the issue, they can take their stance, either left or right. Best example of center party would be Liberal Democratic Party of UK. In India, there is no such center party, but sometimes the policies of Indian National Congress are like centrist. So you can say that sometimes the policies of Congress are centrist, but mostly they are not. They are mostly left of center. Now we come to the unique politics of India. See, what I have told you till now is the general classification that is applicable to Europe and US. It is applicable in India, but it has some problems. What are those problems? We will see. Congress is a left party, center left, but it was the one that brought in the LPG reforms in 1991, liberalization, privatization, globalization, free market, leaving the protectionist policies, anti-protectionist. So these are the policies of right wing, but they were brought by a left wing party, Congress. So will you call Congress a right wing? This is a dilemma. This is a problem. Then we come to the BJP. BJP is a right wing party, no doubt about that. But it has continued with all the socialist policies that were started by Congress in the past 40-50 years, or even by the last UPA government of Manmohan Singh. So they have continued, for example, they have continued Manrega, and they have also brought in programs like the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, that earlier it was Nirmal Bharat Abhiyan. So do you call it left-wing politics? Will you call BJP left-wing? No. The thing is, in India, all the political parties to some extent are socialist. They will have some socialist leanings, they will have some left-leaning policies, because they will want welfare. India is officially a welfare state. India is officially a socialist state. So they will have to have some socialist policies. Another example is that of Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. Although it is not a political party, but it is a very influential organization that has affected policies of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, RSS is completely against FDI. It is also against capitalism, against capitalist policies. It is very pro-labor. But the Bharatiya Janata Party, when it is in power in the NDA government, does it follow all the policies? No. The current NDA government has brought in a lot of FDI. They have loosened the restrictions. Also, many policies favoring capitalism, free market, and also labor reforms have been brought in. So the labor organization of RSS has been protesting against Bharatiya Janata Party's government's policies. So would you call them left-wing? All these are left-wing policies. Look at them: pro-labor, anti-capitalist, anti-FDI. These are the typical policies of left-wing. But will you call RSS left-wing? No. Because in other aspects, that is far right. In all the other matters, that is the conservative values, the tradition, and the role of religion in the country and all that. So it will be called a far right group. So you can see that there is some problem in classifying them. That is what I want you to understand. None of these classifications are 100% perfect, 100% correct. All of them have some problem. Some parties will have right wing, some will have left wing policies. There will be a mixture of policies in political parties' agendas. Another example, parties espousing socialism: Bahujan Samaj Party, Samajwadi Party, Janata Dal United, RJD of Lalu Prasad Yadav. So they are socialist parties. They say that we are socialist, we believe in socialist ideals, and we will live up to the ideals of Ram Manohar Lohia. They say that. But whenever they are in power, they do not act like it. They do not act like left-leaning parties in all aspects. Because see, for development, you have to bring in FDI, you have to bring in capitalist, you have to bring in industries to your state. So they will try to bring policies which are like right-wing parties. Okay, they will try to bring some policies which are typical of right-wing. So this is again a problem. What will you call these parties, left or right? Then there is coalition. Up till 2013, the Janata Dal United and BJP were in a coalition government in Bihar. Now they call themselves a left socialist party, and BJP calls itself a center-right party. So do you think they should be in a coalition looking at their ideologies? No, obviously no. But still, they were for a long period of time. And JDU was also part of the NDA, National Democratic Alliance, at the center. So Indian politics is too diverse, and to label the parties is a very difficult task. We should not label the parties. All the media organizations love to do it. You will read it in the newspaper editorials. This is left, that is right, that is a liberal, that is a conservative. So that is the reason that you should understand what is the meaning of these words, and that is why I made this video, so that you understand this and the contemporary politics. Finally, I want to discuss with you the nature of this left and right wing politics. First thing, the nature of these policies, these left and right, have changed with time, and they will change with time. Why? Because it has been almost 200 years since we have been using, more than 230 years since we have been using these terms. But you cannot say that during French Revolution the right wing was pro-monarchy, so today also it will be pro-monarchy. There is no monarchy today. There is no king. So how can any right wing party favor a king? So it means the right wing definition has changed. Now it means something else than what it used to mean 200 years ago. Okay, so you understand this, it will change with time. Second, the nature of left and right is dependent on the other political party's ideology. What is your opponent? Whether your opponent is left or right, it will depend on that. The best example of this is USA. In USA, there are two political parties. On the right, we have Republican Party, the GOP, Grand Old Party. In the left, we have Democratic Party, Hillary Clinton. So these Democratic Party is called left wing, Republican Party is called right wing. But the economic policies of this Democratic Party is pretty similar to Republican. They will, whenever Democratic Party is in power, it will also continue with the free market economy of USA. It does not change USA into a state-controlled economy suddenly when Democratic Party is in power. Whoever is in power, Republicans or Democrats, the economy of United States continues to be governed in a similar way, a free market economy. So in an isolated state, in some other country, Democratic Party can also be called a right-wing party in some aspects. In fact, if it was some other country apart from USA, they would have been called right-wing. And if you see, the Democratic Party should be somewhere here based on their economic policies, just right of the center. But since Republicans are right, they have got this space. They have captured this space for themselves. So Democratic Party cannot be called right-wing. They will be left-wing. Got it? So that is why it depends on the opposition party's ideology also sometimes. How do these political parties define themselves? That will also change the nature of left and right. And finally, the left and right depends on the present day trends of politics. All the political parties in the world change their stance, change their policies according to the time, according to the current mood of the people. I will give you an example. Earlier, Barack Obama was completely against same-sex marriages. Okay, you can even Google his interview of an earlier time when he said on television that I am against same-sex marriages, it should not be legalized. And this is despite him being a Democrat. He belongs to the Democratic Party, left wing, which is favoring this same-sex marriage. But when the public opinion turned in favor of same-sex marriages, then he said again on TV that yes, now I am in favor of same-sex marriage. So in 4 years, your personal philosophy does not change. Why did it change? Because of the people's perception, because people changed their mind. They wanted same-sex marriages to be legalized. So Barack Obama also wanted them legalized. So it is dependent on the people. With that, I come to the end of the lecture. If you want to prepare for bank and SSC exams using our tablet and pendrive courses, kindly visit our website or call on this number. Thank you very much for watching this video. Kindly like, comment and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Keep the education revolution going. Have a good day.